Hey guys, I want us to look at a passage of scripture today. This is coming from the book of Acts, chapter 12. And let's start at maybe verse 6 and move on a little bit. Let me read this to you. This is concerning our brother Peter. We love to read about Peter. Let me tell you what he's up to here. It says, Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, and now he was bound with two chains there. And the guards before the door, they were securing the prison there. And suddenly, don't you just love when you see suddenly? And it says, and suddenly an angel of the Lord appeared before him, and a light shone in the prison. And he struck Peter on the side, and he woke him up, saying, hey, rise up quickly. And the chains fell off his hands. And then if you go on and read in the next few scriptures, it'll tell you that Peter got up and he got dressed. He put his sandals on and he passed through the first guard. He passed through the second guard. And then finally he came to an iron gate that was leading to the city where Peter was there. Look at Peter there. Peter was sleeping soundly. He was, this is more than likely, he was getting ready to be executed on the next day. But we see in the passage of scripture here where Peter was in prison, knowing what was going to come to him the next day. He was in the prison. He was bound by chains, two chains it said. Two guards were sleeping there with him. And then there were guards at the door that were guarding him, and Peter was sleeping soundly. He wasn't worried about the circumstance that he was in because he knew who was in control. Now, how many of us can actually say that's the way that we are today? I know COVID has played a big role in all of our lives today. I'm ready for COVID to go back where it came from. But we must be like Peter. Peter was sleeping soundly because he knew who was in control of his circumstance. No matter what circumstance that you're in, I think God is telling us, regardless of your circumstance, what you're going through in life right now, you're fighting a battle, you're making a decision, you're ready to get out of the valley you're in, you're ready to move, but it seems like, hey, you've got chains that are binding you, and maybe you've got two chains like Peter. They just seem to be holding you where you are. And not only did he have chains that was binding him, and he said he had soldiers that was on the left and the right of him. And not only on the left and right of him, they had him at the gates going out of the prison. The guards were standing there. They were making sure that Peter did not get out of his circumstance where he was. In our life today, we seem like we're going through the same thing. We seem like there's circumstances we just can't get out of it. But suddenly, something began to happen to Peter. And I'm going to tell you, we serve a God of suddenlies. He's still in the business of doing suddenlies in our life. But look what happened to Peter. Suddenly, the angel spoke, and it struck him on the side, and it said to rise up. And after he was obedient, he did what the angel said. It said this, then the chains fell off. Oftentimes, when we're in our circumstance, we see that it's impossible. There's no way that we can do this, and that's right. There's no way that you can do this. Only God can do the impossible. You are positioned for a miracle. You are positioned for something to happen in your life. But I want to tell you today, when God speaks to you, you hear that voice. Be obedient as soon as you hear the voice. As soon as you hear the suddenly that begins to happen in your life. He rose up and then the chains fell off. Your circumstance is going to change. Your suddenly suddenly is beginning to happen. His chains begin to come off, but he didn't stop when his chains fell off there. As they fell off, he rose up, and then he began to move. It said he began to put his sandals on. He began to put his clothing on. He began to go outside. He began to go past the guards, and then they began to lead him to the gate to his city there, where he was supposed to be at that time. God is telling you right now, your suddenly is going to happen. Get ready to rise up. Get ready to move. Get ready to move the left foot and the right foot. He's going to lead you out of your circumstance, past where you are, and you're going to step in and march into victory. We serve a God of suddenlies. My friends, hey, COVID has been rough. It's been tough on us, but I'm telling you, we serve a God of suddenlies. Have faith today in your circumstance. God is still working. Our God is on the throne. Be encouraged today. Look up and listen and get ready to walk, because your suddenly is coming.